Hi, hello everyone, good evening. I'll be presenting you today my speech to persuade on to see how sportsbook deals as built-in fees, not as free money, but by understanding VIG on straight bets and even higher holds over time on parlays. Sportsbooks embed small mathematical fees in single bets and even larger holds in parlay, so that implied probabilities exceed more than over 100%, and that gives them what they want. It gives them a house of steady edge over time regardless of individual game outcomes. Most of you in this class follow sports, but many of my surveys show that 11 out of 15 of you have never even placed a sports bet in your life, but only four out of you even somewhat confident explaining how a negative 110 bet line makes the sports books money and how it really works. That means most of us are actually seeing it on TV, on our feeds, on billboards. We're seeing it everywhere, but we don't really understand the math behind them. This matters because legal sports betting is now all over and it's just getting bigger. And now a huge 2025 Associated Press article report says that Americans wagered well over $100 billion on sports in 2023 and almost in 2024. And that level kept going. Betting is on TV, it's everywhere, it's on our phones, on social media, but many casual fans still think of odds, boosts, and promos as free money, not as built-in fees. Experts like Ed Miller and Matthew Davidow in the logic of sports betting explain that sportsbooks design almost every line of hidden charge called the VIG. The VIG, short for vigorish. Economist Stephen Levitt explains that, also shows that betting odds are not really seen just as predictions or who will win, but their positions plus a profit of the margin of the house. My main point today is that this sportsbooks will set odds so that implied probabilities exceed the odds that add up to more than 100%, so that use VIGs on single bets and even higher holds on parlays. That gives them a steady house edge over time, so if you understand this, you will stop seeing them as betting offers as easy as money, but seeing them as built-in fees and low-key scams. Let's start with a negative 110 point spread to see in the NFL or NBA games, a line that might say a team is -3, a negative 110 in B, +3 at negative 110. You must risk $110 to win 100, and that doesn't really make any sense at all on either side, but that looks fair, but it's not truly 50-50 at all. I mean, we can turn a negative 110 into an implied probability. The formula is 110 divided by 110 plus 100, that is 110 divided by 210 equals 52.4%. So the book acts as if each side has a 52.4% chance to win. If both teams are a negative 110, you must add the two sides. That is 52.4% plus 52.4%, and you get 108. You get 104 plus 8%, sorry. In the fair market, those numbers would add up to more than 100%, and that extra 4.8% is a sportsbook's edge. If the book takes all that equal money on both teams, that is 4 to 5%, then it's expected profit, that is the VIG. If small tax you pay every time you place a standard bet. Now let's look at parlays. Where the house's edge is much bigger, a parlay combines several bets into one ticket. You only win if every leg wins, so you can't mess up at all. It's very strict because it is harder and way more sports agile. The payout looks big and exciting, but it's more of a bigger scam. That is why apps constantly push bigger and better same game parlays and boosted parlays. Imagine two honest 50-50 games, for example, one in the NFL and one spread in soccer, each priced at a negative 100, negative 110. The true chance of winning both is 25%, but many sportsbooks pay a two-leg parlay of negative 10 bets around 264. What does a plus 264 mean in probability terms? We do 100 divided by 264 plus 100 divided by 364. That equals 27.5%. So the book pays you as if the parlay wins 27.5% of the time, but while the true chance is only 25%, that gap is the extra profit of the margin for the house. That's what they want. That's the scam, I think, for me personally. On top of the VIG already inside each league. A briefing in the Economist of America's betting boom says that the U.S. sportsbooks earn a big share of the revenue in parlays and same-game parlays, the hold of average profit margin on parlays often reaches double digits, as far higher than roughly 5% edge on single negative 110 bets. Now, if you really think about those percentages on a national scale, Americans bet over $100 billion on revenue on sports. If the average hold is just 5%, that is just about $5 billion in revenue for sports books. If parlays literally just push that hold higher and the money grows even more over time, That is why you see nonstop ads and more sports things on your feed than ever, and that's why the math is more on their side, because at the end of the day, it's all built on scams and money. Sportsbooks do not win because they are lucky. They win because they built their edge into the prices using vig on straight bets and holds on parlays. That pushes the implied probabilities on their side more than boards over 100% in locks and long run profit. So when you watch a game, talk with a friend who sees a bet or a parlay pop up on their feed, only remember this. A negative 110 line is not fair at all. It's really a coin flip. It carries about a 5% house edge. A parlay stacks as those edges that can push the house advantage into double digits. Ask yourself, is the thrill of having action on this game worth paying those fees and that built-in fee every single time? If you see a sportsbook deals as fees, not free money, you will make much smarter choices than about whether to bet at all. Thank you so much.